In the following video lessons, you will learn about basics of Spring Cloud API Gateway and how to make it route the incoming HTTP requests to destination microservices. When microservices start up, they register themselves with Eureka Discovery Service. Eureka becomes aware of each microservice and their addresses. And when we need to scale up, we can start 10 more microservices, and each one of them will register with Eureka automatically, and Eureka will know its address. When we start more instances of products microservice, for example, each instance of products microservice will have its unique address, and requests from a client application will now need to be balanced between the available instances of products microservice. So now when we have multiple instances of products microservice running, and each microservice has its own unique address in the network, we need a way to route incoming HTTP requests from client application to one of these instances. And to do that, we can use Spring Cloud API Gateway. Spring Cloud API Gateway has a built-in load balancer that will distribute requests coming from client application equally between running instances of our microservice. And this makes our API more robust when the load on our system increases. When we start up 3 instances of products microservice, it will now be 3 instances serving HTTP requests that come from a client application rather than one single instance. And the load on one single instance decreases. So Spring Cloud API Gateway will be a single point of entry to our system that has multiple instances of microservices running behind the API Gateway. It will be handling HTTP requests from client application and routing those requests to microservices running behind the API Gateway. And the list of addresses of running microservices, Spring Cloud API Gateway will fetch from Eureka Discovery Service. Now, because Spring Cloud API Gateway is a central point of entry to our system, there are many nice-to-have things that we can configure it to do. You can configure a set of filters that will filter all HTTP requests that come in and come out of API Gateway. There are built-in filters that you can use out of the box, and you have the ability to create your own custom filters. In those custom filters, you can write custom code to perform any logic you need. For example, you can make it log a certain details about the incoming HTTP request, and you can make it log a certain details about the response that is being returned back. You can make it read HTTP headers from the request and validate the JWT token to make sure that it is valid. And you can make a filter alter HTTP request by adding additional information to it. For example, after validating the public JWT token, you can generate a new internal JWT token and include it into HTTP request to a destination microservice. You can configure custom routing to route HTTP request to a specific destination and assign specific set of filters to be performed for a specific gateway route. And in the following video lessons, we will start up our own Spring Cloud API Gateway, and we will make it route HTTP requests to destination microservices. We will launch it with a very simple configuration that will make our Spring Cloud API Gateway to automatically route HTTP requests to destination microservices without us having to configure each route manually. Alright, so let's see how it works.